Okay, we're gonna call this little series Cooking with Mama Tiff to show you how to make my famous lasagna soup that Gabby loves so much. So I had already started this before I thought about this. The only thing I did first is to take 1 pound of mild Italian sausage. I did the Johnsonville mild Italian sausage. Specifically, this Johnsonville mild Italian is what I've always used. 1 pound of that. You also need 1 yellow onion just chopped up. So I diced up a yellow onion. So I put in my meat and my yellow onion first. Okay, let that get browned, and probably 3-4 minutes when the onions are translucent and the meat is no longer having any red, or it can be a little bit light pink because you're still going to be cooking a little bit, but all the red pretty much is out of it. The other thing I mixed in with my meat is half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper. Okay, so once you have your meat and your onion, you sauteed it, it's nice and brown. After that point in time, then you can go ahead and add in a half teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And I did 1 full tablespoon. I like it a little bit more garlicky, so 1 full tablespoon plus maybe like a little bit more of minced garlic. If you're doing fresh garlic, I would do probably 4 cloves finely chopped. Okay, now you have your meat, your onion, your garlic, your minced garlic, and your red pepper flakes. Let that go about 30 seconds, maybe a minute more, just kind of get that incorporated. And then you just need one container of the Prego. Sometimes they do like garlic. I just did traditional. So you just pour that in here along with your mixture, and this is where we're at. So you have your onion, your garlic, your meat, and then the sauce and the red pepper flakes in here so far. So this is where we're at. And I use my Dutch oven. You could really use any pan, but I do enjoy cooking this in my Dutch oven. Okay, next you're gonna add in 6 cups of chicken broth. So I already had some already open in the fridge. Never throw out chicken broth because you'll always use it for other things. So there's 2, and don't mind my look. I'm looking a little rough. We've been doing lots of stuff around the house. Really, you could just put this whole damn thing in there. 4. I just like to be precise, but this should equal roughly 6. It's a little extra, that's okay. All right, so 6 cups of chicken broth go into the mixture. And it should look like that, okay? You're gonna gotta put in the noodles here soon. Okay, next you need to add 1 full can of crushed tomato. I'm very particular, don't go off brand with this, go with red gold. Your dad has kind of taught me that, but it's true. Go with red gold crushed tomatoes into the soup. 1 full can. Give it a little stir. Next, you need 2 tablespoons of, again, same brand, red gold paste. So 2 good scoops of nice paste to get it nice and thick. Okay, next you need 1 tablespoon of dried basil. Just get your tablespoon, and your measurements don't have to be 100% accurate. I say that, but I'm one who will measure every single thing out every single time. Your dad always laughs at me for that because I have a little bit under what's left in my can. That's okay. And then we're gonna do a teaspoon of the following. So 1 teaspoon salt. 1 teaspoon. Okay. 1 teaspoon parsley flakes. 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon oregano. Okay. If you just have like Italian seasoning, pretty much that's what that is, so it's okay. You're gonna do teaspoon and a half, before I do that, teaspoon and a half of sugar, just white sugar. One, and I'm just gonna rough it. Teaspoon and a half of sugar, and then 2 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar. Now, I know it's hard to like get a recipe where you only use like something very particularly with, but I'm telling you, I've had this almost the whole time that I've made soup in this house. It lasts a long time. So I just add 2 teaspoons of that right into my mixture. Okay, so this is all your kind of your spices that we just put in there, that sugar, the oregano, the basil. Give it a good mix all around. Now I'm gonna turn this up because we are gonna start adding in our noodles. Okay, so next you're ready for the noodles. I always get the Barilla. Again, I'm pretty brand loyal when it comes to this dish. So I always get the Barilla. I just feel like they don't get as like clumpy and all of that. So you just take a few at a time and you break them, and they're gonna kind of fly all over till they're in like little pieces like this. You just throw them into the soup. Like that. So the recipe that I followed doesn't ask for the full box. I always put in the full box. So right now you're right here. I'm gonna put up my heat a little bit. We're gonna get it going so it starts boiling. When it starts boiling, we'll turn it down again. Once it starts boiling, we'll turn it down and let it simmer until these noodles get cooked all the way through. But we need to bring it to a boil first and foremost. Now, as this is cooking, make sure you're stirring it until it gets to a boil. Make sure you hit the bottom of it because you don't want those noodles to get stuck to the bottom of the pan. Okay, it took about 10 minutes to get to this point where we're just starting to boil. So now you want to set a timer for 20 minutes. Alexa, set soup timer for 20 minutes. You also want to, if you're going to have garlic bread, which is a must, and if you're going to have garlic bread, you have to have the best, which is Kohl's. You want to preheat your oven and get it ready to go. And you'll do this after you get your soup. Now the soup is getting, you can see it's starting to rumble. We want to turn it down now. Let this simmer for about 20 minutes. And I'm going to go take a shower because if you notice black all over my arms, it's because we were cleaning off our new grill. Our grill. So I'm gonna go shower, and Dad is gonna continue to stir this until I am done, and I'll show you the final steps. The biggest thing was that when it's at the simmering point, about around 3 on my stove, and you're gonna let this for about 20 minutes. The biggest thing is make sure you're scraping the bottom of your cooking dish so that it doesn't stick the noodles to the bottom. And then at that point in time, like I said, you want to preheat the oven and get your garlic bread going. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. I just got cleaned up in that meantime, which is good. And this is what it looks like. It's starting to get thick and soupy. This is about 20 minutes in. The noodles are soft. You could definitely serve it now if you wanted. So I'll show you the final steps. Okay, so the last step, once it gets to once you hit that 20-minute point, is you want to add about a half cup of heavy whipping cream. So a half cup, Kroger brand is fine of this heavy whipping cream, goes into the pot. And then you can add more chicken broth, depending how thick you want it. If you want it a little bit more soupy, if it's starting to get too thick, you can add a little bit more broth to it as well at this point in time. Okay, I just stirred in that half cup of heavy whipping cream, and it looks like this. While this just kind of simmers for a little bit longer, I'm gonna go ahead and pop in my garlic bread now for 8 minutes. Okay, so next is the taste test. You just kind of let it simmer for a bit. I'll give Dad just a little bit on the spoon. You know, if you have a little garlic salt, it doesn't call for that, but I always add a little garlic salt maybe. What do we think? A little garlic salt?
Actually, it's really good.
Perfect. We've been really into fresh cheeses, so all you have to do at the end is we got Parmesan, just the block, and we're gonna shred some onto it, or you can have fresh mozzarella or just baked mozzarella to garnish when you serve it. I'll show you that here next. Okay, next you just take you scoop it in a dish, take your Parmesan, if you're gonna grate it, slightly grate some yum Parmesan into it, like that. I already had taken some of the mozzarella that was on the block, and we shredded it earlier for a different dish. So I already have some of that. And this is how it looks. Okay, put as much cheese into it as you would like. And just kind of mix it up with that fresh parm. And there you go. You have lasagna soup. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoy it and use this recipe all the time.